Salam everybody, and welcome to the Chains of Narration podcast. I'm your host, Shafi Ahmed. It's been a while, actually, for me. We've been a bit of a hiatus over the last few months, but now we're going to be picking up over the next few weeks and months, inshallah, with some new episodes. So, what better way to start than to have somebody here who, in case don't change your sharpness or brightness or of your screen, but we have kind of somebody who has been pretty well known in the news here over the last couple of days. And if you're somebody who may not watch a lot of college basketball, there's this team called the St. Peter's Peacocks, and I know you guys have been having a lot of people have been kind of messing with you guys about your name, but they're a basketball team who they were a very high seeded team. They were a team that usually a 15 seed does not get very far in the tournament. Usually they lose in the first round more often than not. But this is a different type of team, obviously, as now the whole country is certainly aware of now. And they took the country by storm by taking Kentucky in the first round to overtime and then winning the game. Congratulations. And I want to welcome our dear brother, Hussain and Drame. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Please correct me if I'm not.
You are.
And
you can call me Hussain.
Hussain? Okay, Hussain's even better. So Hussain, obviously I think a lot of people took notice of that across the country when you guys beat Kentucky. But I think especially after you beat Murray State, they noticed that, hey, there's his brother doing sajda after they won the game on the basketball court. Wow, that's interesting. And I think a lot of the Muslim community, probably not only in America, but around the world, probably took notice and said, oh, there's some Muslim brothers on this team, two brothers in particular. So I think that's what kind of piqued everybody's interest. So with that, I wanted to just hand it over to you, Hussain, and tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you, where are you from originally, and what got you into playing basketball?
Well, hello everybody. Before saying everything, we have to say Alhamdulillah first. Had it not been Allah, we wouldn't be here today. And after that, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Hussain Drame, and as you guys know, my twin brother. He had a tight schedule as right now, but inshallah in the future we will work with you and then be at the same time on this Zoom. As that being said, my name is Hussain Hussain Drame, and my brother is Hassan Drame. We are identical. We from West Africa, Mali. As you guys know, Mali is a country that have 95% Muslim, and so we came to America in March 2015, okay. And we play high school here, and alhamdulillah, now we're in college.
Nice. Which high school did you guys go to?
We actually went to a Christian high school, Lutheran high school. So we are very familiar with the Bible. We were learning the Bible and at the same time learning Islam, Mm-hmm. We were doing both at the same time. So we are very familiar with Christianity too.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. And is that something that's common? Well, I know you said the high school, but also in Mali as well too. You said it's mostly a Muslim majority country. So how is religion taught over there?
I mean, we're blessed to be born in Muslim family, and being part of 95% of the population being Muslim. Since you were born, all you were taught is Islam. All you were taught is Islam.
Wow, that's amazing. So, for you and your brother, like you said, you guys came here you moved here when you were in high school. So did you guys grow up playing a lot of basketball, or were you playing a lot of sports? What kind of got you into basketball specifically?
Well, I remember we definitely grew up playing in soccer. Mm-hmm. Soccer, also known as football.
Yep.
So when we were at the age of 14, turning 15, 14 or 13, at the age of 13, I remember,
Yes.
And one time, one of Mali girls team went to the African Championship, and they won the championship. And my father was so happy. And when he came back to Mali, at that time, the tournament was at Mozambique. Okay. So when he came back, he realized how much money those women made. And then he said, nah, my kids have to play basketball. And from there, he introduced us basketball, but we didn't really like it because at that moment, our mentality was like, this sport is for girls. So we're not gonna, go that way. And then he convinced Jordan shoes used to be something that used to be huge. And we love Jordan shoes. He said, when you guys start playing basketball, I will buy you guys Jordan shoes. So because of Jordan shoes, we start playing basketball. Wow. And all we start falling in love with the game.
Wow. So it's so amazing to hear this because, as someone, as a quote unquote student of the game, but a lot of people who, especially in America, I would say, if I had to put a ranking, number one would be American football, NFL, college football here. That's probably the most popular sport in America. And then number two, right behind it, would be basketball. So, a lot of people don't get to play football as much because you need a lot of people kind of to play it. But some people, a lot of kids grow up, you play like in the backyard, or as we would during Ramadan's about to come up here, we would not be praying, we would go to Tarawih, but then we would go to play basketball in the backyard, in the back driveway of the parking lot of the masjid, or we would go have a football and we would play touch football in the back, when we probably should have been praying, but kids will be kids, so that's what the boys are going to do when all that stuff is going on. So very common for kind of growing up, that's how we used to, that's very normal in the culture here. So our first interaction with the Muslim basketball player was, of course, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. These were kind of the first couple Muslim players. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar we knew about, but for a lot of us, we're not old enough to remember when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was playing on the Lakers. But he was probably the first major one. But for most of us, like I'm in my mid-30s, a lot of us remember Hakeem Olajuwon, and it was always a big deal because he was fasting and he was in the playoffs and he was destroying everybody in the playoffs, and in the finals, like, man, he's Muslim and he's fasting. Oh man. So, anytime, and he's in Houston, he lives in Houston. So, if you ever go to Houston, there's if you go to the masjid where he lives by, there's a very good chance you'll run into him. So, anytime anyone sees Hakeem Olajuwon, everyone gets excited because they said, this is kind of the first interaction with someone, and Mahmoud Abdul Rauf as well too. Muslim basketball players who kind of were well known across the country. And it kind of builds a lot of pride for a lot of kids who growing up, whether you're from, my parents are from India, but for a lot of other Muslims who are born and raised here, their parents are from somewhere else. They're from Egypt or Morocco, or like you said, Mali or Ghana, or, name your country, mashallah, Muslims were from all over the world. So naturally, when you grow up in a majority country that is not from those places, and you're kind of more of a, you kind of stick out, kids will make fun of you, and they'll call you a lot of names and everything, so you don't feel a lot of pride about where you came from. So these were the first two people where we said, oh man, we feel a lot of pride for them. And Muhammad Ali, even though he wasn't boxing anymore, he was still very much, everybody knew who he was as well too. So nowadays we have, mashallah, you have, Habib Nurmagomedov, who just literally, he just retired. But now we have so many Muslim soccer players. I'm like, look at our Muslim football team. You got Paul Pogba, you got, literally like so many, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, all these amazing players who not only are they Muslim, but they are like at the top of their game. They're considered some of the best players to play. So now, we're in this time and day and age where we have Muslims who are at the best at their sport. They're not just playing their sport, they're the best at their sport. So I think people kind of get really excited. But the reason I brought up Hakeem in particular is he kind of has a similar background where he didn't start playing basketball till much later on. Usually kids, they start playing when they're 4, 5, 6 years old.
19, 18.
Yeah, he didn't start till he was much later on. So when you say, hey, you guys didn't even start, but mashallah, you're playing on a college basketball team that now is going to the Sweet 16 to play, Purdue here later this week. Do you ever kind of sit back and think, man, you initially didn't even want to play this game. Now you're playing it at such a level that the whole country is watching you. Everybody knows, who you are now. What is that? Did you kind of have to pinch yourself sometimes to think, man, is this really happening?
Yeah, before answering to that question, I would love to give a little background about me and my brother.
Yes, please do.
And about the accomplishment that Allah has blessed us throughout our life, and then coming to here and then do this.
Absolutely. Please do.
First of all, when we were we started playing basketball at age of 13. Mm-hmm. And then at age of 14, 15, at age of 15, turning 16, we were selected to our national team, U16.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah. And then from that, the coach didn't select my brother. And at the end of the 12 player, I didn't get selected. So we got caught up. And, Allah have a plan. And then we keep believing in Allah plans and follow up, And then after we came back, we worked, we believe in the process. And then we went back, we played U17, 18, turning 18. Mm-hmm. And me and my brother was one of the main reasons that Mali, our country, won the African Championship for the first time in the history. Wow. So we were the major part of that. And we were one of the leaders and staff that people look up to, especially in our community, in our country back, that people really look up to us growing up, like our town. And when we did that, we came to America, kept working, and then we went to the World Cup. So the World Cup U19, and that was not only for Mali, that was also for the whole continent, Africa. No African country passed the quarterfinal. But Mali, with the God willing, we beat Canada, we beat France, we beat all of those great countries and play United States in the final. And, at the end, it is what it is. Stuff happened, and then they just take the game. So we lost in the World Cup Championship. As you can even do some research about it, but we made that history too. So following up, we choose this school, Allah bring us to this school. And then since one thing about me and my brother Hassan is Allah really bless us. It is a few to see your twin brother playing with him, growing up. And this is all we ask for. And, Allah being good to us, and we seen, we did it. I mean, I don't want to be emotional here, And
sure.
So we lost in the World Cup Championship, which was like one of our greatest, for the continent, greatest success of all time of any African country. Yeah, came beat those countries and then, went to the World Cup Championship. And then following up to come to college our first year, this is what, let me describe our team. Our first year, we had like 4 Muslim brothers in the team.
Yeah.
And 2 left. And then now, as this current team, we have 6 to 7 Muslim brothers in the team that people are not aware of. 6 Muslim brothers.
That's awesome.
Including one coach. 6 brothers. So our first year, this is what me and my brother are one of the leaders in the team. Mm-hmm. And we are a big part of the team's success. And what we always tell them is, about believing in God, try to let them know how powerful is God, not focusing on what other people believe. That's their opinion. Because the way we grew up, we believe that what other people plan and Allah is the greatest in planning. So absolutely. That we always believe in that, and we just follow up, coming to where we are right now. And it's still the same mentality. whatever we believe, whatever will happen Friday, already Allah have destiny.
Absolutely.
If it is our destiny, it will happen. If it is not, it won't happen. So
absolutely,
that's, and as right now, my teammates and everybody, they're enjoying the moment, you know. But I wasn't surprised at all, because instead I'm thankful to Allah.
mm-hmm.
But I'm surprised by the moment. I'm not, but I'm really thankful to Allah.
Alhamdulillah. No, absolutely. You know, having that, you know, we have this, you know, everything is rooted with, we know nothing happens without the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I think if that's the basis of how we do everything, you know, your coach had a famous quote here at the press conference, I think yesterday or the day before. And the reporter asked him, you know, were you guys afraid, or were you guys like, you know, afraid of the moment? And he laughed, because he's a player himself. He's a well-known player in America, you know, your coach. And he said, man, we're from New Jersey and New York. You think we're scared of anything? No, man, we're the ones everyone should be scared of, you know?
Yes, definitely. If you play New York and New Jersey basketball is different level.
It really is, you know, and you know, anybody who follows basketball even a little bit, they know, you know, it's funny because, you know, that's when the term Mecca got thrown around a lot in America. They said, oh, New York is the Mecca of basketball. We're like, yeah. Mecca? You're talking about Mecca to us? Oh, okay. So you guys kind of know what you're talking about here. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll take it. So, you know, people always say New York is the Mecca of basketball. You know, those famous clips of like Kevin Durant going and playing at Rucker Park, and, you know, so many other players. Man. Yeah, exactly. They've all played there because they have so much reverence and respect for the New York street basketball scene, right? So, you know, when your coach said that, I think we all kind of laughed and we're like, yeah, he's pretty right about that. And, you know, I didn't play much. I played in high school, maybe. That's it. I'm 6'2" for reference. So I'm pretty tall. I'm pretty tall for an Indian person, that's for sure. Yes, definitely. But relative to all the other players I was playing with, I was probably maybe average height, maybe even a little shorter compared to a lot of my teammates. But you know, it's funny because, you know, you kind of have a deep appreciation immediately of, man, these people are really good, these people are really not, and you kind of get put in. For me, I got put in my place pretty quickly because I was like, my one skill is I can shoot threes, I can rebound, and I try hard on defense, but that can only kind of get you so far. But yeah, so, you know, but it was really, you know, you kind of figure out kind of, you know, where you are and kind of, you know, what you do. So, you know, one thing you do appreciate is that you can tell people who are kind of afraid of the moment or scared of the moment, especially when a game is close, and who's not. And I think, you know, the way you all play, especially, you know, your team from the get-go against Kentucky, it was pretty clear. You guys were not afraid. You didn't care that they had Kentucky. You didn't care how many of them were, you know, lottery, NBA potential draft picks. You said, man, we don't care. It's about today. It's about this game. And, you know, you guys, it was very clear from the beginning that you guys weren't messing around and you weren't afraid of playing them at all. So you mentioned, you know, how much Allah has blessed you and your brother. And like you said, you know, you guys have kind of raised the Mali basketball scene. I'm sure a lot of people who are going to be listening and watching this for the first time probably weren't even aware Mali had a basketball scene until, you know, before probably hearing of you and your brother. Are there any, you know, you mentioned a few other brothers who are on the team and everything too. Is there a lot of Mali, you know, has Mali become something that's recently become a place where, hey, there's basketball players who are coming out of here now? Or is it more something that maybe there was some players historically maybe who are from Mali that we maybe not know of, who, you know, kind of were well known?
Well, we have a couple Mali player that is in Swiss 16, like our teammate, our big man, that we both play in Mali together, that we were part of that success. He's playing for Arizona. He's the big man. His name is Umar Balo. And yeah, we have like another Umar, which is our big man, Umar Jahame from Senegal. And we have Mohamed Sow from Senegal. And we have another assistant coach that his name is also Omar.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we have
Arizona.
like our second point guard, his name is Jalen Murray.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it seems like a lot of it seems like it's an up and coming scene with your brothers and all your other teammates who, you mentioned somebody, one of the other players who's on Arizona as well too, and who are playing on these other teams. So you guys are kind of the scene. So do you guys have like a secret WhatsApp group where you guys are all chatting with each other and kind of keeping up with each other and saying, hey, what's going
Yeah.
on? What do you guys do?
we definitely have like a WhatsApp group chat that, sometimes we just go and chat there and
Sure.
check on each other, how everyone doing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we are aware of each other.
Absolutely. No, that's good. And because you all grew up together and you're on the team together too, the national team. So it's natural that you guys will kind of keep close. So you mentioned, you were playing on the under 17, under 18, 19, and under 19 teams. So how did you guys end up coming to America? Did a coach kind of recognize you guys and he gave you guys like, hey, come to our school? Or did you guys just come on your own and then you found, you just went to the local school? Well, talk us through your journey of how that happened.
Well, that was when we were at Mali. My uncle that live in California, his name is Tidian.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's a guy that, he really changed a lot of lives. Man, now one kid, now two kids, we're talking about 30s, 40s Muslim kids.
Wow.
That did not have hope, but that have talents.
Mm-hmm.
So he helped them to come to the state, and then he find school for them, and then the school recruit them. Me and my brother were blessed to have like a high school. The name is Our Savior in New York, Long Island,
Mm-hmm.
and they recruited us, and they brought us here, and then we had like a incredible host family. They are white, but they are Christians, and they raise us. And one thing about them, they are loving and respectful. They respect us. They accept us who we are, because we didn't hide who we are. And
Right.
then the fact that they respect that and accept us, they are so peaceful. They accept us for who we are. And then still today, still the same relationship. We call them mom and dad,
Wow.
and they still accept us who we are. And then we love them for, So when we came, we went to high school for 4 years. And, being in high school here, you probably know we were one of the high recruit too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had like offers, but we chose this school because me and my brother mentality, since the day we commit, there is a video I will share it with you.
Oh, please do.
At the beginning, when I went through my phone, I cried the other day. I cried. When I went to my phone, I saw that video. My brother was recording me not knowing. And then I went to the middle of because they just renew our gym.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling you, the most people that were in our stand watching our game was 20 people.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, we thought the school is going to be like crazy. Like, like other college school, because we had like high major school. But
Yeah.
we didn't choose those schools because we always want to be a part of the team that always have something to prove. Because we believe that's the way for me and my brother, because that's gonna make us work. I don't like going to somewhere where it's given. I never like that. I like to work from the ground. So that video, I'm literally crying. Like that day, I was so out of it that I went to the gym during night. Every light was off, and I started calling Allah. And then I call Allah, and then every single thing I say in that dua literally happened. Like, see, I'm living in that moment.
Wow.
Every single thing I said is literally happening right now. And since that, after that, me and my brother always convince our player, convince our coaches, convince everybody that they have to trust us, they have to believe it. With this moment is going to come. Because in that dua, I even said it. Allah said, whoever asks me with sincere heart, it is his duty to respond to your call. So if that is true, we believe in that, and Allah accept it from us. You know, Allah accept it from us. So we literally, that's why I say I'm not surprised, and I'm just thankful. And, you know, I'm even shy to ask God because, you know, if you feel blessed somehow, you don't even know what to say to God.
Yeah, you know, Allah says in the Quran, "La in shakartum la azidannakum." You verily, if you're, you know, you show gratitude for me, I'll give you more. So you know, you guys are definitely, mashallah, an example of that, where you like you said, you know, so you mentioned that you had offers from other schools. If you don't mind me asking, what were some of these other schools that were recruiting you that you guys turned down?
Well, before the World Cup, me and my brother always wanted to play together. So there were schools like Oregon State wanted me, and Creighton wanted my brother, and UC Davis UC Davis in California. We had freshman year, we had some offer from St. John, Rutgers.
Wow.
So all of
big schools.
Yeah, and I forgot about a lot of schools because I didn't really want them at all.
Yeah, you weren't really paying attention to them, right?
Yeah. So, but I definitely remember my top 3 school. My top 3 school was, I decided to visit St. Peter, this school. And that was our first visit. When we came, we spent 3 days in the campus visiting. They were showing us around and everything, telling us. And we had one coach that really recruit us, but he's now with us. His mom is sick, so he decided to step down. And Albany, because we eliminated school that only had one spot. They only had one spot.
Yeah, because you guys wanted to play together.
Yeah, we said we're going to play together. And then, but our top 3 was UC Davis in California, Albany, and St. Peter, because we always wanted to come to us, you know, a lower school we wanted to be the reason of changement, you know, not to be just go to a school like, for example, Kentucky, where everything is all there. So that was our top 3 school. And the first time we visited St. Peter, and, you know, they were loyal to us, and they show us love every single day, showing up to our high school, win or lose, they're there, they're supporting us, and then we just decide, why not give them a chance? And we commit to here, we came here, you know, and we won our conference. First year, we beat our number 1 seed that always go to the tournament, and then we started changing, but COVID came. We were about to play semifinal, COVID. They stopped everything, and then we do the same thing. We keep working, and this year it pays off.
Yeah, mashallah. So it's amazing, you know, you obviously, like you said, initially, you both had really good programs wanting both of you. Oregon State, they're a team that makes the tournament pretty regularly. Creighton, another team that makes the tournament pretty regularly. You both could have gone to these separate schools where, like you said, they had some level of success already. But you said, number 1, you wanted to play together. And then number 2, you said you wanted to go somewhere to kind of build something up. Hey, we want to build something out of nothing, which takes a lot of, takes a lot of confidence. It takes a lot of, what we'll say, guts, right? Because it's kind of scary too, right? You're going somewhere new, where it's not established. St. Peter's, I looked it up, hadn't gone to the tournament for a very long time, since 2012. So it's not like, they were, a big up, even like you said, there's a couple of schools from your conference that go pretty regularly to the tournament. They weren't one of those schools, but ultimately you said, hey, let's go somewhere where we can go kind of build up. Did also the factor of kind of being close to your home, like where you grew up in Long Island, did that kind of also play into it a little bit as well too?
That really play a major part of why we choose St. Peter, because we see New York is a city, like it's very competitive, and we love competitive, and that's how we learn everything, like, is to be competitive. And then seeing St. Peter being in Jersey City, literally 10 minutes away from New York City, we say this is a spot for us, because when we were choosing between those 3 schools, we eliminate UC Davis because we say, UC Davis is far. We don't want to Yeah, we don't want to go all the way down to California. So it's either Albany or St. Peter, and St. Peter being the close one, we just chose St.
Yeah,
Peter.
because they were with you, they kind of saw you both first, and like you said, they were consistently coming to your games, and they showed you that respect. Like you said, they showed you a lot of love. So you said, hey, if they're going to be loyal to us, let's kind of pay it back to them. So you both moved here to a different country, away from your family, living with a family who at the time you didn't know. Now it sounds like you have a really good relationship with them. How has it been being in, especially at a young age? It's difficult to do this at any age, let alone as a young kid and two young boys in high school, moving across halfway across the world. How does your family back home and your parents, how did they kind of deal with it? And how do you kind of manage all of that?
Oh man. First of all, the first 3 days when it was announced, how it is foreign when you say I'm coming to America, how excited you have your visa, you have everything, how excited everything is. My brother started crying. He started crying 3 days. He break down because we were the last born of our mom of 8 children. So
Wow.
being the last born, and you know how the last born are usually are. And
right.
we were given everything. And now I was so excited the first 3 days, but I did not realize what I was doing until the last bye. I was giving the last hug to my mom. And then I saw my mom tear coming down. Oh no. I said, I'm not going. I said, I'm good, I'm staying. And then my brother was laughing because he already went to his. And then they literally had to take me and put me in the car. And, one thing that I always remember that give me even strength till today, that even if I think about it, is what? You know how in some of Muslim community, how it is that, oh, I'll take this, will protect you, do this, always do this. But one thing that's always stick to me and my brother mind is my mother did not do none of that. He only say one statement. He said, it is a kind of dua which is very, very powerful. He said in our native language, but I don't know if I would translate 100% in English.
Sure. No, say it in your native language. That's fine.
Yeah, he said, you guys going, God be your protector. I only give you guys to God, not to nobody, not to anything that happened to you guys. God is God will. So God will be your protector. You are safe. Go and you are safe. And that's when I really start breaking down. And when we came to America here, the first day in New York, it was really, really, really cold. Me and my brother said, this is not a city for us. We can never live here. We'll never adapt to this weather. And the next day, the team was flying to South Carolina for a tournament. We went, and me and my brother couldn't even play because it was cold for us. Couldn't even walk, like we couldn't even run. And the first 3 months was the toughest because imagine we came to this country not speaking English. The only 3 words we knew was yes, okay, and no. That's it.
Wow.
That's the only 3 words we knew.
And did you guys grow up speaking French, or which language did you grow up speaking?
We grew up speaking 3 languages. French.
Okay.
4, I would say 4.
Okay.
French, our native language, Bambara, and our tribe language, Soninke. So we grew up speaking them fluently, and coming to America, not knowing, like Long Island is straight up like different community. Everybody is white.
It is, yes.
Well, seeing that the first 3 months, we didn't feel like we belong to this, and then different religion stuff. And man, I cannot even. And we were so blessed that I remember when me and my brother, our only worry was when we were praying. I said, "Oh God, if you ever taking us to a community that we know, please make a mosque next to us." And then guess what? A mosque was that 2-3 minutes walking away from us.
Wow. What's the name of that mosque?
What is
I could look it up maybe. Let me see. I can
it's
look
in
this up.
Long Island, Century. It's a big mass. And
Okay.
yeah, it's in Century. It's a big mass in South
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then when we went there, like it took us 2 to 3 months knowing like the mask is literally 2 minutes walking.
Yeah.
And so when we went there, we always usually go there. And then when we went there, there is like a kid in the mask. We play with them, and there is the youth group. And then we always play. I remember kid, they used to love us so much. Oh, you guys play basketball, and we play with them. We do this. We went to, because our school is well known in that community.
Yeah.
And, and that was the first 3 months learning. It was tough. We have to adapt to the weather, learning the language, all of that. So it was challenging, but that was our how we got recruited, and then how, the process was.
No, it's definitely not easy. And I think people should have definitely appreciate that. Like I said, I think for, a lot of people like me, we were born and raised here, but we can relate to our parents when they first moved to this country. They didn't really know the language, leaving their whole family behind. And, they're just trying to find, they're trying to come here for school, come here to find jobs, etc. They just wanted to make a better life for themselves and for their family. And you guys have done no differently with what you're doing. So, it's no small thing. So we have a little bit of time left. I don't want to take up too much of your schedule, so you can get back and do what you need to do. But I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about a little bit of basketball, of course, and especially the games and everything, and just kind of your perspective, and everything too. So, obviously you guys beat Monmouth in the conference championship to make the tournament. And you guys got the trophy. Now you're going to the tournament. Take us through winning that game, and then knowing that, hey, we're about to go play in the NCAA tournament. You don't know who you're going to play quite yet, but you just know you're going to go to the tournament. What were you and your brother thinking at that time?
Oh man, that moment in our team, me and my brother are the one that technically, when it comes to player, like motivate them and talk, like we are like the talk when it comes to inside, because me and my brother don't like we never like somebody that will do the job and show up, and everybody's always, I always wanted to do, like, you can understand this language, the dirty work, be the dirty worker. I don't want no reward from nobody. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want. And anything, I just want to be the dirty worker and, do what I gotta do. If somebody is rewarded, I don't care. Like, that's the mentality, like, we had it, because me and my brother, we always, every day have a talk. How we're going to be successful, how our friends, how we're going to do. We find a way. And thanks our coach let us talk, and we always find a way. He's a great coach too, man. He's a great coach, being a great player, And then he know how to coach the game. And we believe in him even right now. We believe in him. We believe in the process. And through that process, the school had like 4 championships since the school for 150 years. Right. Only 4 championships. Yeah. So through that process, we believe you will see, like, the video, I will send it to you, that I will say we only choose this school just to put them in the map. And throughout that, we believe in it, and then we went to the championship, same mentality, we won it. And the mentality that we were coming to the tournament is one thing. And even before, like, the game, there is one statement. We say, oh yeah. And then I brought a term, and before we jump in the car, we say, I'm hungry. And then I made them, where is your food? Okay, your food is over there. Just go get it. No, don't let nobody stop you, like, from going get what belongs to you. This is yours. You are hungry, you are starving. And that was our mentality. And like our coach say, most all of us, 95% of the team play in New York, New Jersey. And then we're not scared of the moment. Like that's how we've been playing since day one. Taking the park game, Dykeman, Lincoln, Gersh, and you know, that's how we grew up playing very, very competitive. So going to that, we know we're not just going to hang up. Not that team. Like you said, my brothers take it before the last huddle. They said, take the name out of the jersey. Okay, let's go. It's 5 versus 5. They don't have, we don't see 2 head. We don't see 4 leg. They're not gonna play 6 versus 5. It's 5 versus 5, man up. So it's us against them. We don't care. They have millions of followers. My brother even said he said very passionate. He said, okay, your mama might give you Lamborghini. You might have 1,000 followers. You might have $1 million in your bank account. But one thing, when we step in that court, you're not going to dominate me. You're not going to dominate us. So that was the mentality we went. And as people can see, it shows, it pays off. So that was our mentality, and that's still our mentality. We don't really care who you are. We don't, it does not mean God has blessed you. Everybody's blessed in their own way. So your way is your way. My way is my way. Our way is our way. We're going to be thankful for our way. And then you're going, if you're not thankful for that, that's your own problem, but we're going to compete.
Absolutely. No, that's beautiful. So, you know, you, like you said, you know, your brother said, hey, just take the name off the jersey. It's still 5-on-5. There's one basketball, and we're going to go and do it. So, you know, you guys go into overtime. You guys, you know, you're up by 5. You finally have it. Looks like the game is finally going to be over. You beat Kentucky. Now, everybody knows who you guys are, right? Everybody know, everyone, like so many people were that night, they were Googling, where's St. Peter's? St. Peter's? Where's St. Peter's? Peacocks? Who are the Peacocks? Literally, like people are looking you up that night. You know, who's this team? Who's this team that just took down, you know, the number 2 seed Kentucky, you know, 15 seed beating a 2 seed? Happens very rarely. It is a rare thing. You know, it only happened, I think, 8 times, 7 times prior to you guys doing it. And then on top of that, only two of those teams have won another game after that. So usually you beat the 2 seed, and then, you know, you don't do anything after that, because, you know, beating one team one time, okay, that makes sense. But usually, especially with the tournament, you have 1 day turnaround, and then you have to go play the next game. So you guys still manage to stay focused. And then, you know, now you have to go play Murray State, you know, a day and a half later. So how did you keep your focus when you're waking up the day after and everybody's talking about you? St. Peter's, oh man, they beat Kentucky, one of the biggest upsets ever. They were saying it might be the biggest upset in you know, college basketball history. You're reading this, you're seeing this, you know, I'm sure you're probably getting 100 messages. Everybody on campus is, I saw the video, everybody was like going crazy when you guys, you know, or when you guys came back to campus and everything too, you know, after you guys won the next game. But how are you guys keeping a level head through all of this and saying, okay, we still got a game. We got another game on Saturday now. How did you guys kind of keep your focus and kind of keep that humbleness and, you know, still manage to, you know, focus for that game?
Like I said, it is one mentality, you know. If you are hungry and doubt it, all you guys to prove yourself. It's like, this is the thing. If you're in the jungle, it's called survival. So that this is where we are. There is no tomorrow, like our coach always tell us. There is no tomorrow. So that's the mentality we got. And then going to Murray game, we know, yes, we beat Kentucky, but hey, anybody can have a bad day.
Yeah.
That's what they might say. So going to that game, we say, okay, we're going to prove to people that this wasn't a fluke.
Yep.
Like, this is what we work for. And then that was our mentality, going and give everything we got, and then keep our focus, and, you know, just compete. Same mentality we had with Kentucky. People say Kentucky had they didn't have a bad game. They scored
75 points.
75 points. 75 points on us. That's literally what they be doing.
Yeah, I mean, and the game was close. It wasn't a blowout. It wasn't like, oh, they weren't hitting their shots. It was back and forth those last 6-7 minutes of the second half and in overtime too. It was going back and forth. Nobody can call that a fluke. You guys were trading baskets back and forth. It was very, very close. Your point guard, he hit some big time shots. I mean, literally, like I said, I was in a restaurant and people were screaming. They were literally screaming, oh man, and then that shot he hit at the end of the second half to tie it up, where it like kind of rolled on the rim there for a second, and it looked like it was about to come out.
I was looking.
You were right there. I saw.
Yeah.
You were ready. You were ready if it wasn't though, right? Like if it came off, you were gonna put it right back. So especially during the Kentucky game, but also in the Murray State game, because now maybe they know who you are a little bit. John Calipari, the coach of Kentucky, said, I was a little afraid of these guys before the game. He admitted it after the game. He said, yeah, we were a little worried about these guys. Were any of the Kentucky players saying anything to you guys? Like, were they talking at all? Like, who are you? I've never heard of you. Where's your school? Like, were they talking at all to you guys?
Yeah, after the game, they look at us because some of, player, no player.
Yeah.
Some of them, we compete against them in high school, they got chance, they went to Kentucky. And then after the game, those players that don't know us, they came and shake our hands. While they're shaking our hands, they're saying respect, man, respect, respect.
Wow. Okay. So you knew some of the players, like you said, because you guys, when you're playing in high school, you've played against some of these guys in your high school game. So those guys probably knew who you are, and they're like, hey, don't take these guys lightly just because they're playing at a school that you may not be familiar with. So maybe half of the team might have known who you were. And then the other half, like you said, they found out who you guys were very quickly. Yeah. So then going into the Murray State game, so now everyone knows who you guys are. Like you said, you guys are keeping your foot. What are the Murray State players saying to you? Were they saying anything to you guys before the game? Were they like, was there any kind of just, kind of chatting going on before the game, or, and then obviously after the game?
Probably, I would say, I don't usually talk to opponent before the game. Probably my brother does every time to see how they are.
Okay.
That because that get him going somehow. I don't know.
It's motivation for him.
Yeah, to see like what they're thinking. But I can just see in their eye, they're gonna be like, okay. For what? That's just my opinion. Okay, this is them. They had a flu game against Kentucky. So now we're gonna just come and beat them, That's how I see in their eyes. And they didn't know it would be a long night for them.
Yeah, no, you guys, it is funny because like we have a lot of WhatsApp groups as well too. And I have a couple where all we talk about is sports. Because I think just growing up Muslim in America, we all just really like sports a lot. We played them a lot. Now we're older and we're not as good as we used to be. So we spend a lot of time watching. So I was telling them, they're like, yeah, I don't know if these guys are going to win. I said, after you beat Kentucky, I think there's nobody else that's going to be as high of a seed as them. Only the number one seed is left in your region. So I said, I think they got over the hard part first. Why can't they just keep going on and keep winning? What's going to stop them now, right? Like you guys are going to just keep going. So he's like, yeah. And then, they're playing Murray State. In America, really only the only thing anyone knows Murray State for is that Ja Morant went to Murray State. That's about all anybody knows Murray State for. So they're like, oh yeah, that's the school that Ja Morant went to. Oh, okay. And his story is really interesting too, because he basically wasn't recruited, and that was like one of the only schools that even gave him a scholarship. And the coach said he was at a tournament recruiting other players, and he heard somebody dribbling a basketball in another court by himself, and he just saw him working out, and he said, oh man, this guy's really good. How does this guy not have any scholarship opportunities? And that's literally how he found Ja Morant. And lo and behold, he ends up doing a really good job at a smaller school at Murray State, and then becomes the number 2 pick. And obviously he's doing very well in the NBA. So, it's really interesting with those small schools, how that happens. So now you guys beat them, pretty, I think, like you said, they found out really quickly what you guys were about. Now you're on to the Sweet 16. So now everybody's waking up today on Monday and they're saying, whoa, the St. Peter's team, they just beat Kentucky. They go and like you said, you guys proved yourselves. You go and beat another really good team in Murray State. They're 7th seed. They're a good school, good basketball team. Now you beat them. And now you guys got Purdue coming up. So one of the questions I was going to ask you is, who's going to guard that 7'4" Zach Eddy? Who's going to guard that guy?
Oh man. I mean, we have like a 6'10", 6'9", 6'8", and my brother and I and one of our teammate Casey, number 11,
Yeah.
6'7", 6'7", 6'7". We're all gonna be guarding him. Like
Right.
we're probably gonna be switching. You know, before every game we got practice anytime soon. So we prepare how to guard people, how to weakness strength, you know, scout. So that's what we do, game plans. So as right now, I don't know what's the coach game plan, but
you're going to find out in the next few days.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw you guys play some man, you play some zone, you guys mix it up, which is good. You know, obviously over here being in Detroit, we're big Michigan fans. We all either went to University of Michigan or University of Michigan Dearborn or Michigan State. Those are kind of the two big schools here. So Michigan State lost yesterday to Duke. So now Michigan's kind of the only school left in the area, and I guess Purdue. So the Big Ten teams have been going down pretty quickly in the tournament. If you haven't noticed, there was, I think, 8 or 9 Big Ten teams. There's only 2 left, Michigan and Purdue. So there's not that many left, and you guys are playing Purdue next. So they're gonna be on notice for sure that you know, they might have to deal with it. So we only got a few minutes left. But I, you know, like I said, you know, I think this could be the first conversation. Inshallah, let's definitely have you and your brother on again soon. Whenever your schedule, you have my number. Let's just reach out to me and let me know. Is there anything you want to say to kind of close this out, and want to say to the community and everybody who's watching and listening, and feel free. The floor is yours.
The thing that I want to address to my Muslim brothers and sisters is, you know, we can live this worldly life and still practice our religion. You know, we can, no matter what, like, we cannot find excuses not to pray. You know, pray is number one thing as a Muslim, because being a Muslim is a blessing. Not everybody have that blessing. We cannot take it granted. Yes, we are human. We are sin. We're supposed to sin because we're not perfect. But the thing is, we have a God that is the most merciful. He forgives. So we cannot, because two sin will never make it right. You know, absolutely. You sin, you don't pray, that's two. Yep. But you sin, you pray, God might forgive you. Mm-hmm. So all I'm telling my brothers and sisters is, you know, we really have to pray. And, you know, we have to be a role model to people. Being a Muslim, we cannot take it by granted. You know, we're living in a society where Muslim kids, they are shy to show who they are. Like, never be shy of who you are. People will love you because of who you are. But if you try to hide it, then there is no respect, there is no love. So you're losing all of the way. And to close up, I'm really thankful to you to reaching out to us, because, you know, it is a blessing to be able to tell your story to people and people to hear it. And absolutely. We are so thankful. Thank you for reaching out. Definitely, inshallah, next time, my brother and both of us will be here. He probably will mention stuff that I didn't mention. Yeah. But this is, I think this is one of the great things so far, you know, sharing your testimony, like to your Muslim brothers and sisters, you know, for them to hear that being Muslim, like, is a blessing. You can be Muslim, like you said. We see Karim Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali. Those are people that everybody look up to them, you know. Yep. Like, even Ramadan is coming, you know, and that even if we still playing the tournament, inshallah, when the Ramadan comes, that would not stop us from fasting, you know. Right. Because these joys and stuff is temporary. That's my belief. Like, I know this is just a moment and one day it will be over. So if it is over, so what now? And that's type of thing that I have a message for everybody. Yes, we sin, but that does not stop us from, that's the beauty of Islam. That's the beauty of Islam. You sin, you can seek forgiveness, you pray for being good. You know, we're not perfect. That's why we're Muslim. If we're perfect, then what is the point of creating the angel? We're not. So that's the message I have for everybody. And I would like to give a special thanks to you because
oh no, thank you. No, thank you. No, Jazakallah khair. Thank you is a beautiful message. And like I said, you know, you definitely are on the minds and thoughts of many Muslims across the country. Like I said, I'm sure around the world as well too. As well over the next few days, I think a lot of people will be learning about you. I hope I can kind of help amplify your message of you and your brother, mashallah, you know, showing, you know, being good role models, you know, for the whole community. Like I said, you know, we always get happy and excited when we see our fellow Muslims succeed. We get really excited when they succeed, especially in the, you know, in the athletic scene as well too, because there's so few Muslims who are doing it. And so when we saw that, I know all of us, we were so happy and excited to see this. And like I said, you know, you came this far. You didn't come all this way for nothing. So inshallah, let's see if you guys can continue. And like you said, it's already written. It's already written. And inshallah, I'm sure all the Muslims will be rooting for you guys hard, except I'm sure maybe the few Muslims who might be who are Purdue fans, maybe they may not be, but they're still going to be doing that. So
and learn to support their brothers.
Yeah, exactly. So I think regardless, they will be doing that. So Jazakallah khair once again. And like I said, I look at this as just the kind of the beginning of our of a inshallah long friendship, and hopefully we can reach out again soon. Like I said, whenever you and your brother have some time, even if it's, you know, before the end of the week, Bismillah, let's do it. I'm available. Let's make it happen. But if not, you know, good luck. Inshallah, everything goes well against Purdue. Hopefully, you guys can win that game and keep going. Inshallah. Keep going. Take it all the way.
Yep, we'll win. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, we'll talk. I'll talk to you soon. And good luck. And like I said, I'll have this posted hopefully here in the next day or two, and I'll send it out to you. And we'll let everyone get to know you a little better, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
Take care. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.